Alright guys, I'm going to make a quick video showing you a revision technique that I really think will change your writing abilities and the quality overall of your writing. So you're going to go to your course essentials folder and click on rhetoric. And then in there, sorry, not rhetoric, on revision, duh. And then in there you'll see Hayakawa it. I'm going to click on that. And you'll see this slideshow here. So you're going to try to apply what I teach you here to your own writing. So let me open this up. Today is October 1st, 2024. So basically, we're going to focus on getting rid of abstractions. Abstractions are generalizations or non-specific terminology. You want to be very specific. Good writing is specific writing because it pulls the reader into your experience. General writing keeps the reader at a distance, and you don't want to do that if you're trying to make your experience feel like something they can also experience. So, avoid abstractions. Why? Abstractions leave the reader guessing, wondering, they leave the reader unclear, they leave the writer unsure as well. It shows that maybe the writer doesn't exactly know what they're talking about. So you have to prove that you know what you're talking about by providing those specific details. So here's S.I. Hayakawa. He was a Canadian-born American. He was a linguist, psychologist, semanticist, teacher, writer of Japanese ancestry, a professor of English at, I believe it was San Francisco State University, but that's where he was president. And he was also a U.S. Senator from California from 1977 to 1983. So pretty awesome dude. And he came up with this idea of the ladder of abstraction. There are 4 levels to the ladder, and I'm going to go through each of those very briefly. So level 4 are broad abstractions that leave the reader guessing. So words like success, things, fun, life, everyone, food, these are very abstract concepts that are not specific. So for example, if you say he is successful, well, in what way? What does that exactly mean? If you say I love to have fun, well, what exactly does that look like? Level 3 is a little bit more specific. So there's still broad groups and there's some specification, but not all the answers that we need are going to, or not all the questions that we need answered will be answered. So for example, maybe success becomes wealth, right? Fun becomes television shows, but how much money does he have, right? Which shows do you like to watch? So we're getting a little bit more specific, but we're still not quite there. Level 2, obviously you can see we're working toward level 1. Level 1 is what we want to get at. These are more definite groups. So his success, his wealth is the house that he owns, right? The fun is the television shows, but the specific shows are the dramas. So we're going a little bit more specific. So we're still not all the way there, though. He has a big house, but what type of house? Can you tell me about it? I love to watch dramas. Well, which particular dramas? So we're almost there. Level 1 is much more specific identifiable nouns. For example, the 4-story house in Beverly Hills, sunsets over the ocean, Breaking Bad, African violets, right? These are words or phrases that provide much more specific detail that show us exactly what we're talking about. And this is the category we want to aim for. So let me break it down into this chart here that will help you really think it out more visually. So level 4, success. Level 3, wealth. We move to house. We move to 4-story house, Beverly Hills. Compare the purple to the yellow, right? We go from things to sunsets over the ocean. Look how much more specific we're being here. We go from fun to Breaking Bad. We go from life to African violets. We go from food to Lay's crispy potato chips with chocolate honey. Now, of course, that's not even food, really. That's junk. But you get the point. It shows that when you're more specific, you really are kind of defining what you're referring to. So let's take a look at a paragraph that needs to be Hayakawa, and you're going to apply this to your own writing that you did today, Tuesday, October 1st. When I went to the springs, I saw a big tree with lots of leaves falling on the ground. There was a pond, and there was water in it, and little fishies and some lobsters. The air smelled dirty, and it was pretty hot. Then we left, and I felt better. So can you tell why this is a paragraph that needs to be Hayakawa? Can you see where there are level 4, 3, and 2 abstractions? I think you can. Big tree, what does that even mean, right? Lots of leaves, what does that mean? How many leaves are there? A pond, can you describe the pond? There were little fishies. Well, I don't have any idea what those fishies look like as a reader. Some lobsters? Really? There are lobsters in a pond? Interesting. How many were there? So obviously, a lot of questions, but this is what we do as writers. We make the mistake of not seeing that our reader can't see what we see, and we forget to provide those details. So that's bad writing, right? You want to be a good writer. You want to improve your writing by doing something like the following. Now, this is not 100%. This is only an improvement. My challenge to you is to improve it so specifically and so well that your reader, when they begin to read your essay, feels like they're right there with you. So we entered the springs, and a huge eucalyptus towered above me. You can already see that you're able to visualize this person's writing better. The ground was littered with decaying leaves. I'd still want to know what the colors were, for example. Did they make a sound? The spring flowed up through the earth and into a large pond toward the street. It's still pretty vague. We see that there's a spring coming up through the earth, but I have no idea what that looks like. The native fishes, about 3 inches long, a little bit better, a little bit more descriptive, swam away from the red crawdads. Oh, now they're no longer lobsters, but they're red crawdads, and into the cover of the bushes. Okay, maybe what kind of bushes? The cattails, right? The lily pads. The sun warmed my skin and I smiled. So as you can see, it's better, but it's not great, and it's not this person's best work. Today, you're going to go ahead and go back through your writing and highlight level 4 terminology. That's terminology like here on the purple side on the left. These are vague abstractions. If you notice yourself using these type of words, make sure you make the change. You're going to highlight it and go back and revise. So you're going to brainstorm some changes you might make. What exactly were you trying to communicate when you said there were a lot of fish, or when you said the tree was big, or when you said it smelled dirty? What does that exactly mean? How do you show your reader what that feels like or looks like? Okay? And then you're going to go ahead and make those changes on your document. Now, this is the third time we've talked about adding more specific detail, but it's the first time we're talking about Hayakawa. This is his idea, this ladder of abstraction, and we put a face to the idea so that way you can remember the concept a little bit more specifically, right? Hayakawa really is, in this case, known for using specific terminology and avoiding those abstractions that we have here in this chart. Okay, so work toward the yellow and stay away from these other categories. Good luck. Look forward to reading your writing.